Not 18 either. 17.
And I got my questions ready for them and everything.
Alright. Have you ever wondered what the world will look like in 2050? Well, it probably is going to look a lot different than you think. All nations are experiencing a growth in people aged 65 and older, and the United Nations says that it is going to be the most significant social transformation in the 21st century. Yep, go to this graph. All this data on this graph is from the World Population Prospect, the 2019 revision, and according to that, 1 in 6 people in 2050 will be age 65 and older, which is compared to right now only 1 in 11 people. So take a look here. This is in less developed regions, so in places like Africa and Asia. We see it's the populations of people age 65 and older have been growing, which is usual because population is growing in the whole. But if we look 2050, there will be about 1.2 billion people aged 65 and older. Now, remember that for when we go to the next slide. Because if we look at here, we have less developed regions, people aged 15 to 24. Now, it has been increasing, but not as quick as people aged 65 and older. And if we look, by the 2050, it'll be just about the same population as people aged 65 and older. All right, more developed regions, so this would be Western Europe and America. We're about 30 years faster. It is happening quicker here just because we are more developed. So you see it's the same sort of deal. Population's growing up, which is normal. 250 million right now, which is more than 500% increase from 1950. And in the year 2050, it will be right around 350 million people. Next slide. And if we look here, more developed regions, population age 15 to 24, it has been staggering. It's not going up. In the year 2050, there will only be about 130 million people aged 15 to 24, which is about half of what it will be for any people aged 65 and older. All right, next slide. Okay, one of the main reasons for this decline is the fertility. So this is the fertility of less developed nations. If we look in 1950, less developed nations, on average, each woman was having about 6 children, and that has gone down to today about 2.6 children per woman, and it is going to keep decreasing, which, yep, next slide. And if we look at, this is for more developed regions, we have already experienced that decrease, and women have been having right around 1.6 children per woman for quite a while now, and it is expected to grow actually. And so this is one of the main reasons for why the population age 65 and older is because it's going to be so high, is because as the people here get older, there's going to be less people turning 18 at that time. And that can be due to lifestyle change. As nations get more developed and they start sending kids to school, it could get expensive to have 6 kids, but when you are providing for yourself and farming for yourself, it is helpful to have 6 kids around the house to help farm the crops and everything. And another main factor for this could be the Earth's carrying capacity. The carrying capacity of the Earth, is assumed to be about 9 to 10 million, but according to an article called Carrying Capacity, Earth's Bottom Line by Sandra Postel, we have already surpassed that capacity due to things such as climate change, because the definition of carrying capacity of the Earth is the Earth's ability to sustain life, to sustain a certain species indefinitely, which what we are doing now to the earth, we cannot be sustained indefinitely. Okay, and the global trend over the next 30 years is going to bring a lot of changes that many of what this is going to cause is going to cause a lot of change in social structures, a lot of change in family structures. One of the big ones is nobody really knows how we're going to pay for everybody's social security. How is basically 200 million people aged 20 to 40 going to pay for 200 million people aged 65 and older's retirement? And that's one of the big things, and that's the same thing for healthcare of older people, is they need more health insurance, and they have more health problems usually on average. So, in conclusion, we don't realize how much of the world will change in our lifetime.
All over the place, but
Hmm?